Welcome one and all to the Mudai Manga Book Club podcast. Today is episode 22, The Spy Who Married Me. My name is Louie, and while I may want to kill you, but I will never let you die even if it kills me. I'm joined with my co-host.
No, Mr. Yozakura. I expect you to die. Your hair to match the disguise you will use. What did you think I meant?
Tom!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the show.
So for anyone who hasn't listened before, we do two topics every week. The first one is things we've been listening to, reading, watching, just fun stuff that's been going on. And our other main topic this week is going to be a review of Mission Yozakura Family, the first arc, which is the introduction arc, and the second arc, which is the Flower Bin arc. And the reason for that is both of the arcs are really short, so this covers Volume 1 and the first two chapters of Volume 2.
Yeah. The first arc is 4 chapters. The second arc is, I think, 5 chapters.
Yes. Well, it's weird, and we'll get to it. Yeah. But yeah, they're both very short.
They're both very, very short.
So instead of just reviewing the first half of Book 1, we'll do a little bit extra.
Yes. Well, in that case, Louie, what have you been up to?
So, read a few things. So, the first one is, I finally finished Deadrock.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I did.
No,
yes,
no,
I did.
you didn't.
I definitely
I'm pretty
did.
sure you're lying.
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Editor Tom, please bring in the phrase of him saying, I didn't read it.
Yeah, I still read it. I did read it. But yes, so anyone who doesn't know what Deadrock is, it is the newest series by Hiro Mashima. This is the author of Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, Rave Master. So this is a monthly one. Book 1 came out a couple weeks ago. Book 2, I think, is coming out not too much longer. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. So what it is, to sum it up really quick, it's a demon school. So it's about students who are going to learn at a prestigious demon school where they're all fighting each other and everyone's a demon and they're all really weird and really violent. But it's in his style, so it looks how you would expect. The main character looks like the main character of Eden Zero, Fairy Tail. So he just has blonde hair this time.
Oh, I see. Very original. It's
interesting because this one seems to have much more going on in the background. Like Eden Zero was very straightforward at the beginning. Mm-hmm. This one has a lot more stuff is being hinted at, but is not really explained. Like there's more going on right off the bat in Deadrock. Because one of the goals is to kill God.
Oh, okay.
So the way it works is you go to demon school. If you graduate, which sounds like very, very few people get to graduate. Okay. And if you do, you then get to go and claim dominion over a piece of Earth where the humans live. Mm-hmm. So the person in charge of this demon school is God. The main character's goal is to kill God, and you're not quite sure why. There's lots of backstabbing and weird things going on. It's funny, but it's like, okay, there's a reason the main character is like this, and you're not really sure why yet. But it's fun. It's interesting. I'll want to see what happens next. But, yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
Yep. And then the next one I read, which I've actually had for a while, I just haven't finished it, is, I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's Darling in the Franxx.
I have heard of
Volume 1 and 2.
It's quite famous. I just don't know much about it other than I've seen the main character.
Yes. So there's the main boy character and the main girl character. The main girl character you've most likely seen. He has the pink hair with little devil horns.
Yep.
So it's a sci-fi story set in future Earth. They discovered geothermal energy and somehow laid waste to the surface of the planet, so everyone lives in these little communities.
Okay.
Well, little, I mean, like the size of a city, but it's like a dome city.
Gotcha.
And because of all this, they've destroyed the surface, and monsters roam, and they battle these... Okay, so they're called plantations.
Yeah.
That's where people live, and they fight these monsters using machines called Franxx, Franxx. And
makes sense.
Do that... Yeah, sure. Sure, it makes sense.
It makes sense given the title.
Yes. Yeah, right. So the way... So have you ever seen Pacific Rim?
No, I have not. I know I'm supposed to.
Where you have two people who are piloting.
Okay, so it's like a two-person Gundam.
Correct. Yeah, that's the idea.
There's a couple that do something similar to that. I've seen. Yes, I understand the concept. Yeah.
So that's what the Franxx are. You need a boy and a girl to pilot them. The girl pretty much becomes the robot, and the boy is the one who pilots it.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Kind of doesn't make sense.
Because I was going to say, you mean like Apache helicopters and things like that, where it's like one person flies it and the other person does the shooting. And it's like, no, not that. Okay, sure.
No. So, yeah, the girl becomes like the machine itself. Like they embody the machine. Okay. And then the boy is the one who says, do this, do that, do this, do that.
Sure.
So that's the idea. And then the main girl, who is 02, that's what her name is. She is a special pilot where she is very good at what she does. However, the issue is that anyone who pilots with her dies after 3 excursions in the Franxx. Because you're connected this way, supposedly she is devouring the other person. So after 3 piloting of the Franxx, your body just can't handle it anymore and you die.
Okay.
Some stuff happens. The main guy, whose name is, I forget. Oh, of course. Why would I have forgotten this? His name is Hero.
Yep, makes sense.
So, because of that, he ends up piloting with her. So they're done in omnibuses, so it's Volume 1 and Volume 2, I think. And then by the end of Volume 2, he is piloted with her twice. You could definitely tell something's wrong, but it doesn't explain yet why this keeps happening.
Okay.
Because he was almost like a washed-up pilot because he wasn't synchronizing. Is not the word that they use, but that's the word I'm using. Okay. He wasn't synchronizing well with other female pilots, so he was kind of like, okay, he's kind of washed up then. So he pilots with her, they do really well and go save people, and, oh, this is great. And then it ends where, this may actually be a 3 and done kind of thing, so what's going to happen when you do it the 3rd time?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The word of warning I have for this book, violent isn't quite the word I would use for it. It is an older teen book. There is so much fan service in this. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Yeah. It's a late teens because of fan service, not late teens because of violence or blood or mature themes.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
The other kind of mature themes.
So there is blood in it, but not it's not like guts level blood or things like that. But there is a ton of fan service. So if you're not into that, you may not like this.
Okay.
But it's interesting. I kind of want to see what happens next in the story because I kind of want to know what's going on. Because I'm still not sure what the overall plot is. Because it's like, okay, they're becoming pilots. They're fighting off some monsters. They had a few battles. And now it's, okay, but what's the bigger picture? And I haven't gotten a grasp on that yet besides following the hero and is he going to die the next time he pilots? And I kind of want to know, but it's like, okay, see how it goes.
Okay.
I'll pick up the next one eventually maybe, but it's one of those things.
It's one of those.
It's one of those, yeah.
That feels like it sums up a lot of it, yeah.
It's interesting, but it didn't quite pull me in. It's like, it's not the next big thing I'm going to read. I'll get the next one eventually, but I'm not going to run out and get it right now.
Gotcha.
The next one I read was Dinosaur Sanctuary number 3. So this continues to be Dinosaur Sanctuary. It's a book about taking care of dinosaurs in the zoo. They have more dinosaurs now, and the main character, Suma, she starts to kind of understand different parts of the zoo. So they go out and see different dinosaurs. It kind of also covers, okay, how do we bring more people into the zoo? There's a bunch more talking about how they would take care of them on a veterinary side. Like, okay, this dinosaur is sick. What do we do? Like, how can we help this animal who gets spooked in the rain for some reason and hurts itself? How do we prevent it from continuing to do that? So it very much is, if you like the idea of a zoo, this is just with dinosaurs. And it goes through everything you would think about with the zoo. And it continues to be interesting. There's some side stories going on. So, okay, we have to move some dinosaurs around from different parts of the park. How do we do that without causing them stress? And then it's going into some of the side characters that have started to show up because in the first 2 volumes, it was very much she's on the trial period. So she kind of followed around one person
Yeah.
But then like, okay, we're bringing you on to the bigger team. These are all the different sections, like departments of the park, and you're now going to just bounce between all of them. So now she's on the first one. It's like, okay, how does this group perform? And you kind of learn about them and things like that. So it's interesting. If you're into dinosaurs, this is cool. And the research consultant is still doing interesting little, this is how research works. This is how dinosaurs would move around. This is how we figure it out. Is this the same dinosaur skull? Is it a young dinosaur skull? How do we know how cartilage worked in bones? Are the bones always there? Can you see cartilage in bones? Things like that. It's like, okay, how do animals nowadays, how can we interpret from them what dinosaurs maybe were like back then? So if we find a bunch of dinosaur bones on top of each other, does that mean they were a herd? Or does that mean that they just all died there for some weird reason?
Okay.
And things like that. I find this very educational just because of all of the in-betweens, but it's still a cool story.
Rather than Jurassic Park of like, ooh, dinosaurs are scary and science can be bad, it's more of Jurassic Park, hey, let's be zookeepers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the
which
second
is
one,
interesting.
they talked about, not Jurassic Park, but they talked about how scary dinosaurs could be, because there is an episode that they talk about in the past where one of the main characters previously had been at a park where someone was attacked because they started treating them like a person and not an animal.
Ah, yeah.
Because they got too complacent.
Yep.
And instead of following all the rules, like, oh no, she never does that. And of course, she did that, and he died. And the guy got attacked and was hurt, and then they had to kill the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Before it got out into the main, not concierge, the main concourse, where just random people are so like, we got to stop the dinosaur now. And because of that, he takes those lessons to teach Suma about how, yes, dinosaurs are nice and friendly, but they're still wild animals, and they will freak out or do things you don't expect, and that's when many people can get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's not like dinosaurs bad, it's they are wild animals.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're thinking.
No, that sounds really cool, actually. Like,
no, it's really
serious zookeeper manga, but it's about dinosaurs.
Correct. Yep.
That's cool.
And then I read the newest Bannerlord with Zero Subjects.
Frontier Lord, not Bannerlord.
Frontier Lord. Frontier Lord with Zero Subjects. Volume 9 of the manga. Yes. So this one is the newest one.
Yep.
Came out a couple weeks ago. And this one is kind of... They are still continuing to prepare for winter. The one big thing that happened in this volume was that... I don't think they called them dwarves, but the dwarves show up.
The Cavekin. Yeah.
Cavekin, yes.
Show up. Yeah, okay,
yes.
now I know what you are. Yeah.
Yep. So they show up. There's 3 of them. Mm-hmm. They are the blacksmiths now.
Yep.
It's a good volume because it has a lot of information and like it progresses the story, but it felt very...
Exposition?
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of... I read through it, it's like, okay, besides the Cavekin, there's not a whole lot that happens.
Yeah, I remember that part in the novel. It was still good, but I think on either end of that is where the exciting part of the novel was. Mm-hmm. The Cavekin is like the Cavekin show up, and you sort of start learning about the greater plot drama thing that's been going on in the background. Mm-hmm. That's not the politics and the kingdom and stuff, but like what's going on with the grasslands.
Yeah.
And then something else happens at the end, and it's like, oh, so you got just the middle part of that. It's like, oh, yeah, it's good. It's important, and there's some neat stuff in it. The problem is the book had all the other parts around it, too.
Yeah.
But
it's still interesting. It's still good. Frontier Lord begins with 0 subjects.
Yay!
The art is still really good. Mm-hmm. The character faces, they're still really funny and things like that. And yeah, it's still really good. It's just, this book felt very light on what's actually going on, which is fine, because it is what it is, because you got to get through those. Yeah. We're just showing things off right now on exposition and just kind of chilling out. The Cavekin show up, because there's going to be more with that, but they haven't really done anything yet, and there's a lot of setup for winter, and that's kind of where it stops. It's like, okay, this is very much a few chapters of not much going on.
Yeah, if I remember the plot correctly, like, I know what's coming up next, and it's like, oh, don't worry, what's coming up next will be very exciting and big and important. But you have to have the Cavekin there first.
Yes, because they just announced the next one coming out in English, and that is September. So it's going to be a little bit. And based on the cover, some stuff happens.
Like, knowing the plot will get better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's still funny. It's still like, okay, yeah, he's doing his weird, goofy faces again. And then the last thing is I read/listened to the audiobook of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Volume 1 of the light novel.
Nice.
So I've watched the anime. I have the manga. So I'm like, I wonder if the light novel is any different. And it turns out, no. It is almost exactly the same.
Well.
Which isn't always true. But I think that the thing is, don't quote me on this, but I think I read this somewhere, was that when they wrote the light novel, way back, I think 2014.
Yep.
After they wrote the light novel, and they wrote a bunch of them, when the manga and the anime came out, the creator took a lot more interest in making a better story. So, for example, I believe the anime flushes out some more of the story a little than the original light novel does. Mm-hmm. And I believe the manga also draws a little more into what's going on than the light novel does. Because the light novel is actually not very long.
It's I would say it's about normal for a light novel size, but light novels are not usually that long.
Right. And it's not like the light novel's bad. It's really good. Especially if you like Reincarnated as a Slime. But if you watch the anime or read the manga, it's almost the same. I started with the anime, and it's really good. And yeah, the only issue is that the light novel is so far ahead compared to the other two. That if you want to know what's happening way down the line, go with the light novel. Because the anime has 3 seasons, plus a 4th one is coming.
Yeah.
But it is nowhere close to the end of the light novel. The manga is not even...
badly, you have to start reading.
Yeah. But the light novel, you can't go wrong with either of them. Mm-hmm. But if you want to really know, go farther ahead, go with the light novel. Because it's still really good.
Cool.
But yeah, it's cool. It's good. I recommend any of them because That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is really good. Mm-hmm. But the first is a lot of setup for what's going to happen later. Because it's about him just showing up in the world and trying to understand what's going on. But once he actually really starts governing the city, that's when I think it gets more interesting.
So I've only read the light novel. I could see that, and it's definitely not a action-packed book, but I feel like as it goes, there's enough sort of going on that it feels like, he's just... And, like, he doesn't have the ability to do much at the start. I mean, he does because he has the things that will let him do these things. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of, he's just a slime. Like, what is he even going to be able to do? And he's, like, figuring out the different things he can do. And he's doing these little things that it's just like, that's what he's doing. Yep. And then that figures something out, and that becomes something. So I think the first book is really good.
Have you read past the first book?
No.
Okay. So
I also
after
don't
the first
know how
book,
crazy it gets.
Yeah. The world gets, I wouldn't say bigger, because the world doesn't really get physically bigger, but it gets
other things
more complicated. And you learn more about what other countries are doing. Mm-hmm. And more monster races are introduced, and it's about how to juggle dealing with the other monster races. So the first book is good. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the later stories are better.
Okay. I can see that.
But
I can imagine that, I mean.
Yes. And this was, I believe, 2014 is when the light novel came out. So it's been out a while.
Yeah, it's been
out.
And
I believe they're up to...
a lot.
22 just came out.
In English or in Japanese?
Japanese. So 21 is coming out in 2 weeks. The light novel.
Cool.
No, it's really good. I recommend it. It's fun. It's interesting. This is one of the big ones from way back that kind of started all of this going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started the reincarnated as something stupid trope.
Yep.
And
it did.
Most of those have also been you reincarnated as something stupid that because of 3 or 4 random things becomes literally the most powerful being to ever exist. Mm-hmm. And this does not disappoint on that.
What about you? What have you been up to?
All right, strap in.
Okay.
Glad that didn't explode all over my microphone.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
But before we get to Tom's reading collection, remember, let us know in the comments what you've been listening to, reading, and enjoying, because we'd love to hear it. Thank you. This has been Sultry Voice Tom, who still doesn't know what the word sultry means.
I wasn't sure if you were making a joke or doing it seriously.
As I like to say, yes.
Okay. And with that, what have you been reading?
With that, what have I been up to? So, to do the easy one, even though it would be the best segue, just to knock it out, Yozakura Family, Mission Yozakura Family, Volume 17 just came out in English. That was really good. I can't tell you anything about it. I mean, I can tell you things about it, but I can't tell the audience about it because massive spoilers for like books 5 through 16.
Yes.
But it continues the rescue sibling battle on the warship. Well, or that's what starts in this. And Kengo's super ability shows up for the first time. It is very good. It is very fun. Yozakura is extremely good. That's why we're talking about this episode. And we'll actually tell you something about it then, not now.
Yes.
Because massive spoilers. It's a series made up entirely of spoilers, but it's excellent.
And that's still pre-time skip or post-time skip?
Yes, pre-time skip.
Okay. Trying to remember how far into the series the time skip is.
It seems like it's because I think it goes up to like volume 29. I don't know how many it actually is, but it's like in the mid to late 20s, I think. If I remember
I don't want to
correctly.
say when it happens.
Yeah, I don't
remember exactly when it is.
No. I mean the length of the full series.
Oh yeah. I believe it's
We're almost down to the last third of the series, and nope, nothing has happened. But knowing that a time skip is coming and knowing what's happening here, I think it's going to be soon, depending on how long this battle happens. But we'll see. But it's very good. It is very fun. It continues to be great. But then, another thing I was finishing up and catching up on, because, like I said a couple episodes ago, I'm just cleaning out all the piles of things I had. So I went back and I read more Laid Back Camp. And so I read volumes 12 to 14. There are 2 more volumes available in English. It goes up to 16, but I only own up to 14. So I will get to those later. And there was something you had said last time where it's like, is there ever like a plot or some sort of ongoing thing? And there sort of is with like school life. And we get to that. But 12 is a good example of, even though nothing happens, it's still really entertaining. Because book 12 is the flashback camping trip. So in book 11, half of the characters went off on a camping trip with one of their friends. And then this is the other, but it's happening after the fact. So it's all a flashback. But because it's a flashback, they just start doing stupid things. Like in the first chapter of this flashback, the characters are there, and then they're eating, and then one of their dogs shows up. And then, if that dog's there, this other dog just appears. And it's like a dog from like their favorite YouTube channel, and just is in the rest of the adventure with them. And one of the characters listening to the flashback sits down next to them and starts eating the food. And they're just like, no, get out. You belong in the flashback viewing box over there. Stupid things start happening just to be funny. And it makes a very different comedic adventure where just all of a sudden they'll just say something silly. It'll go completely off the rails for like 5 pages and then get dragged back to the actual camping. So it's a very funny volume. And that's followed by 13 and 14, which actually kind of, not really a plot, but time's moving on. It's the start of a new school year. A few new characters are introduced who are clearly going to be the characters joining the club or being dragged along with the club over the next few books. Cherry Blossom, camping, and a couple other really small adventures. But it's sort of bringing these 2 new girls in. An artist and a person who then just gets super interested in biking. And one of them ends up joining the OEC club, and they are planning their first bike camping trip, which is probably going to be the next big camp adventure. That it's still really funny. It's still cute, enjoyable, generally slice of life, calm, but fun little adventures. It's a great series. But nothing beats the flashback cam where it's like, hey, you can't eat that. You're not here. But I want to eat it.
I'm hungry.
Well, and then they do all get really hungry. And so, like, the next chapter, when they're picking up the next day, like, one of them brings a whole bag of snacks to just munch on. It's really, really funny. So, just great series overall.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds good. I'll read the rest of them at some point.
Yeah. It's definitely worth continuing. Even though it's like, oh, they're going camping again. It's like, yes, they're going camping again, but there's always something new. Like, 13 probably has the least interesting camping plot, but it's one of the characters and her sister are driving around and visiting a bunch of places. So it's like everyone is a little different, and it's about something. And that one is like, it's all about cherry blossoms. And then it's about a bunch of stuff that goes on after the sun goes down, where they'll have these bonfires in Japan for different reasons on the sides of mountains, and they go and see that. And it's always high school girls go camping, but every time it's something different and unique, and it's still interesting and entertaining 14 books in.
Okay.
Overarching plot, no, there's no Demon Lord yet.
It doesn't have to be a Demon Lord.
I know. The sense of time progressing is still happening. And that's 13, 14, that really happens where it's a new school year, new characters are showing up. It's the new school year, here's the people who've now arrived at the school, who are going to be important. There's that, I think, as sort of a plot progression.
Okay, interesting.
After that, I read Teppu, volumes 2 through 8.
Okay.
I read the first one a little while ago, and the way I figured out how to sum this up is just take All Around Omegaru, which we talked about last time, and just reverse a lot of stuff. Instead of all boys MMA, it's all girls MMA.
Oh, yes, that's right.
MMA with high school students, but instead of it being following a guy, it's following a girl. Instead of being this hyper-realistic plot, it's this very tropey plot, but still very realistic, where everyone in Meguru is like these very grounded, normal people with all their things. Like, these characters are much more like freaky weirdos, but still realistic.
Like quirky.
Yes. Again, it doesn't go into superpowers or anything like that. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of moments where there's something that's almost like that, but it's just they sort of know how they want to fight the person, and their brain just figures it out. Okay. But there's no superpowers. It's just, these are people who are really good at punching each other in the face. But there's a couple of things to it also that make it very different. Whereas All Rounder Megadu kind of explained just the minimum to keep you going. Mm-hmm. This takes a lot more time to be like, oh, this is why we do it, this is what it's for. But it doesn't use it as much, if that makes sense. So whereas Megadu only explains the bare minimum for you to understand at all, Teppu will explain it, and then the fights will only last like 4 or 5 pages anyway.
Oh, okay. So it's explaining the rules, like this is what this stuff means.
Yeah.
But that may not have no bearing on what's actually going to happen.
Yeah, like someone mentioned that, and someone will be like, what does that mean? It's like, well, here's what it is. And they're never like super drawn out, like page after page of exposition, but they'll be like, oh, this is why we do clinches. Oh, this is why we do this. Oh, this is what the weight classes are for. This is why they're this size. This is how the fighting tournaments work.
Okay.
So it is very good. It is 8 books. It is over.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. There's a lot of things I want to say about some of the later parts that I can't right now.
Yeah.
Not even just because spoilers, but because there's another series I want to talk about this too. So, like, I want to wait until we talk about that one another day. But the ending is very good. Okay. But it's not what you expect. The entire series is not what you expect, because your main character, Natsuo, is halfway between absolutely psychotic killing machine and a really gentle high school girl. She is incredibly talented and athletic at everything. Put her in a sport and she's already at the top of the class. Whatever she does.
Okay.
She's almost 6 feet tall. And remember, like, in Japan, like, 5'6" is considered normal men's height. So she's like 6 inches taller than the average boy. In the beginning of the series, she's on the volleyball team. She's been doing it for like 2 months, and she's already one of the best people on the team. And she quits. And everyone's like, now we're going to not win like any of our matches. And like, she gets annoyed at someone from the karate club. and just beats the shit out of her. Now, the Karate Kid person is also basically trying to kill her. Not actually kill her, but like bury her face in the sand and then just punch it 5 or 6 more times. When people get angry, they get very angry at each other, and the fights are crazy. Their counterpoint, and the person that the story ends up being a lot about Natsuro trying to face, is another girl called Yuzuko, who's like 5'1" and is absolute trash.
As a person or as a
fighter?
No,
as a person like doing fighting.
Oh.
Just garbage. Incredibly unskilled at everything, but has not given up and has been training since she was 5 and has become unstoppable. The antagonist of where the series ends up going is your classic shonen protagonist. And you're following the cool dude who doesn't look at explosions and looks down on everybody, literally and figuratively, in Natsuo.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Where the series ends is not where it sounds like it's going in the first couple of books, but the two things that sort of happen with this, there was like a 2.5-year hiatus for the series.
Okay.
Where the person writing it just stopped. They just stopped, and then they came back and they finished it. So like book 5 or 6, there's like a huge gap, and you notice it in a couple of ways. The chapters are monthly, so they're like 200-page books, and there's 4 chapters in like the first 4 books.
Yep.
And then book 6, there's 5. And then book 7 and 8, there's 3. But they're short. They're the same length as the chapters in book 6. So book 7 and 8 are kind of really thin. Be aware of that. The last 2 books are amazing. It's absolutely worth it, but they're real short. But it's also the end of the series.
I wonder if it's one of those, they only had so many chapters. It's like we can't. It's too much for one book, so we gotta kind of even it out between 2 books. Yeah. Just to make it so you can't have one giant book.
And there were some bonus materials and things added, and they're funny, and like they're still monthly, so they're, instead of being like 50 pages what they have been, they're more like 38 to 40. So they're a little shorter, but they cover a decent amount, and they're really good, and the fights are really good, and everything's really entertaining. But like, there's a whole rivalry between a bunch of characters, and Natsuo and the other people from her gym versus Yuzuko and the other people from her gym. Yeah, those other characters, like, no, you don't see that. You get to Natsuo and Yuzuko's fight because they're both amateurs.
Okay.
And the rest of them are professionals, and they're gonna have their professional fight. And it's just like they have their fight, and the series ends. But it's really good. It just and by the time you get to like book 6, it's like, oh, this is rushing towards an ending, and it's just gonna be this fight because the last third of the series is like a single tournament. But it's really good. Natsuo is a fucking psychopath sometimes. It's real weird. And where she came from and how she became the way she is and how all this comes out. Yuzuko is the same thing, but it's an incredibly good MMA series. And whereas I think just like all around Omega, like you want Natsuo to win, you want to see her like succeed. Even though you like all the characters generally, and like they're all really good, Meguru is very much you're watching the underdog scrape every ounce to try to find a way to win at the last moment. Natsuo is clearly very powerful at very specific things, and it's forcing the fight to go to those things so she can win, and just brutal fights when it gets to that. It's absolutely an amazing series. It is 8 books. It is over. It is all out in English. They've actually announced, because it had been only digital, they're going to be doing physical versions of it. The series is really good. The fights tend to be shorter. They rarely go past a chapter until near the end. So if you want those big drawn-out fights, it's not quite there, but they're sharp, they're heavy, they're sometimes really brutal, but they're very good. And just be aware that what feels like is the other characters having their moment in this, that never happens. You never see it.
Okay.
Because the series ends and like they had their amateurs tournament, and they talk about the pro tournament that the winner of the amateurs was going to get to go to. And it was Natsuo versus Yuzuko to see who would get to go. And that's where the rest of the teams are going to have that fight. The epilogue, like, jumps ahead, like, 3 weeks. And the tournament is still, like, 4 months away. And then it just stops. And it's like, oh, okay. So I see this. This is the ending. And the ending is really good. And I can't explain anything about it without spoiling a lot about who Natsuo and who Yuzuko are more than I have.
Okay.
But you realize near the end, and they even bring it up, Yuzuko should really be the protagonist of this series, because, like, she's the hard worker that never gives up. It's, like, the most Naruto...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Shonen protagonist of a fighting series ever. And has giant eyebrows. Like, some of those... Like, she's literally the perfect shonen protagonist, but she's the antagonist of the series. And is super duper nice.
I'm trying to look...
Super kind to everybody.
I'm looking at the covers, and...
if you're looking at the covers...
Is she the brown-haired one?
The person on the cover of 2 and 7 is Yuzuko. And the person with the black hair on 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8, that's Natsuo, the main character.
Okay.
And the person on the cover of book 3 is another person on Yuzuko's team who is a pro and is absolutely psychotic and is one of the people who's in the professionals league of, like, who's going to be the best that never gets resolved.
Okay.
And I say that, it's like, it once you get past, like, book 4, and you realize that, like, oh, we might not be getting to that, and then book 5 and 6, like, oh, we're not getting to that. This is coming to an end at the end of this tournament. You get that feeling, because all of Natsuo's past, and all of Yuzuko's past, and all of everyone else's past is coming up in this tournament. You realize the series isn't about them. It's just about Natsuo, and by extension, a little bit about Yuzuko and all that. And where that goes, it works as a series very well. But there's a lot of characters who are in the background who it's like, oh man, that feels like something they're hyping up. And it's like, nope.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
That's fine.
But they're all really good. It's a very fun series.
Nice.
It is excellent. And then finally, because that was not nearly enough to read in a week, I read Housekeeping Mage in Another World, volumes 3, 4, and 5 of the light novels. I almost finished 6 for today, but I decided not to. This is really, really good still. This is the Japanese woman Shiori gets isekai'd to another world.
Yep.
With no powers, no abilities. And it's basically a women's romance novel after that, but with tons of random battles against monsters thrown in. And last week, I think I talked about it, and I said, Volume 2 is extremely dark for a good third of the middle. That does not happen again.
Oh, okay.
There are still dark parts. There are still parts about, like, people suffering or emotional trauma or things like that, but never as dark as Book 2.
Okay.
You've seen the worst of Shiori's past, and so Book 3, there's another winter adventure, and it's part of a two-parter. Book 3 and 4 are basically two halves of a whole, but not really. They basically go on an adventure with some nobles, and what the nobles wanted to accomplish is finished in Book 3. So like the whole arc of Book 3 is in that. And then Book 4 is the loose ends from Book 3 and them all trying to get home. There's an artist who wants to go and see this tower in winter, but it's out in the middle of nowhere and abandoned. They want to go see the view from the top of the tower because they're a painter and an artist. So Shiori, Alec, and some of the other Adventurers Guild members take the noble and her two attendants in winter to this tower, camping in the snow and dealing with all of that, and get up the tower. They accomplish what they're going to do, and then Book 4, it's the journey back and the loose ends of it, and the history of... There's some other things with the Nobles Party that you find out the history of in Book 4 as they resolve that. And so it's sort of like, oh, Book 3 was about doing this thing. And then Book 4 is like, hey, like, you know how this person was like this and that person was like that? Well, now we're going to find out. And then there's like a mini... Book 4 is like short, And so they had to add like a whole extra side story to the end.
Okay.
That was actually kind of good about killing bugs again in winter because it's still winter.
Yep.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. And then book 5 is a not mystery.
A not mystery. Yeah.
A not So it's like a mystery story. Something happens and they get involved and there's a mystery about it. And everything in the story is like, it couldn't possibly be that evil mustache twirling man over there. Book pants over 2 man twirling mustache.
What?
No, that's not possible. Mustache twirling man goes, ha ha ha, they don't suspect a thing. Let me continue my arsoning of this orphanage. Wah ha ha. This pans back to them. We all just heard him say that, right? It's like,
nope.
Yeah, we did. No, we did. It gets to the point where you're like, this is a setup, right? This is like, that's not actually the bad. No, it's actually the bad guy.
It's the bad guy. Yeah.
Yes. there is some interesting thing, but it's like, it feels like, oh, it's going to be a mystery and we're going to solve it. Like, no, you're not. They know who it is by like page 15 and they're confused. And the whole book is not them trying to figure it out. It's how can we force them to do something so stupid that they can't get out of it? And then dealing with the aftermath of what they've done. Okay. So, as someone who likes mysteries, for a while that was really disappointing until I realized, oh, it's not meant to be mysterious at all. Because it's really not. It continues to be really fun. Their relationship continues developing. I think 2 is the moment to get past. If you can read book 2 and you can get through all of that, that's sort of, it's not that it's a bad book, but it's such a heavy turn for a while. Everything else is kind of gets back to the more lighthearted of the first one, even if it isn't totally lighthearted, because you know who Alec is, you know who Shiori are, but you're watching them figure it out because Shiori hasn't told anyone that she's from another world. And like there keeps being slip-ups where they're like, how could you ever possibly know that? It's like, oh, well, when I was a kid, I went to school. And it's like, this place you come from in this world sounds like the most magical land that's ever existed. And it's like, yeah, it sure was. Let's not think about it.
Yeah, don't think about it too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and that becomes a mix of a running joke and, okay, how do I explain this and not tell them that I'm not from this world at all? It's a very fun series. I think I have 1 or 2 more left, but there's I think 9 out in English and a manga. It's a really good series. It's a nice, entertaining romance that's also full of giant adventurer battles against yetis and snow jellyfish and random monsters and giant snow butterflies that will paralyze you and spiders and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it's weird to see those 2 mashed together. And the author's even like, I really love writing this romance story, but I also love giant monster battles. It's like, yeah, okay, it works. It works pretty well. But it's been a really good series. I'm super enjoying it.
Nice.
So I'm going to keep reading it. Prepare to listen to it again next week.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Let us know in the comments anything you've been reading, listening to, having fun with. Always looking for a new recommendation, so let us know. And our main topic tonight will be a review of Mission Yozakura Family. So, I've seen this in the bookstore in either the Y section or the M section, so if you're looking for it, try both. Because if you look at the book, it says Mission Yozakura Family, but Mission is really tiny, and then Yozakura Family is huge. So if you just look at it really quick, you might miss the mission part. But the actual name is Mission: Yozakura Family.
Yes.
This is written by Hitsuji Gondaira, and it is done by Shonen Jump. It is completely 29 volumes.
It is currently stopped because it's over.
Yes, it ended, I believe, last year.
Nope.
Beginning of this year.
Very beginning of this year.
Wow, okay. Yeah, early January of this year. Like, very beginning. Yeah. So it is done now. You said 17 was the latest you had, so that's where it is in English.
Yes.
I don't believe they're all in Japan yet either. They're probably pretty close, though.
I don't know if all the tankobons have come out.
Yep,
no.
they are.
Oh, no, they are. Yes, but in English, 17 just released a few weeks ago.
And then 18 comes out in August. So the English version is well behind the Japanese version. So what we're going to talk about today is the first 2 arcs, which is, for the rough idea, an introduction arc, which is roughly 4 chapters, and then what's called Flower Bin arc, which is 5 chapters. This is the full volume of Book 1, plus the first 2 chapters of Book 2. So if you just want to get a feeler, you can just read the first book, just do the introduction arc, because that really sets the tone for the rest of the series. And then if you don't like it, you can stop there and you just have to buy Book 1. But we're going to talk about Book 1 and the beginning of Book 2.
Yeah, because that just finishes out the adventure that's going on, and it's a good place to stop.
And the anime did come out this year, and introduction arc is the first 3 episodes, and for some reason, they didn't do the Flower Bin arc in the anime. I have no idea why. I couldn't find a good reason. The only thing I can think of is that this Flower Bin arc doesn't really... There's a lot of backstory and things like that, but I can't think of a really good reason. It doesn't cover something that you would think they would want to skip, but they probably had their reasons. There's definitely a lot more growth in later arcs. So maybe it's just like, we're just going to skip this one because there's a bunch of filler chapters. There's a story.
Yeah. So having come back to it as well recently and rereading it, I think seeing that the first 4 chapters were the first 3 episodes, it was probably done because we're going at 1.333 chapters per episode. We kind of need to hurry this up.
Right.
And rereading that Flower Bin arc, it's important in detail, but it's a lot of really small things that aren't that important. You could pull those threads other places. Yep. And half of it is still kind of a training to go with the very beginning.
True.
That it's kind of... It matters, but not that much.
Fair enough, yeah.
Is probably what they were thinking. And since they took so long in the first 4 chapters, because it was the first 3 episodes, they probably pulled some of that into it. I don't know, I haven't seen the anime, but it's like, it's kind of skippable.
Yep, that's true. And it's still short.
Yeah, it's still short. It comes, it goes, it's over. We can move on. And as you were saying with filler chapters, it does have a lot of them. And in the manga, those filler chapters, it's like 1 chapter short story type thing, but there's usually something that matters in it, which is one of the nice things about the series. But they're also kind of... You could have worked those plot points in other places, so they might end up skipping those if we ever see it or watch it or get to them. I don't know.
So,
I don't watch anime.
For anyone who has no idea what we're talking about, Mission Yozakura Family is...
It's a manga, which is a Japanese comic book produced by a company... Oh, wait, no.
A little more detailed than that. It is a
manga
story...
is made up of drawing pictures on a
Not
page.
that detailed.
Oh, sorry. The other... not that specific. Okay, go ahead.
Skyview, it is a story about a family who is all about spies. Like not quite James Bond kind of spies, but that kind of thing where they're spying, they're infiltrating, but with a very shonen flavor to it. So everyone obviously has superpowers or is crazy strong. Everyone is super weird, and everyone has quirks, and there's some just crazy things that happen. And it follows the main character, Taiyo Asano, who is not in the Yozakura family. And the reason that is important is because the other main character, Mitsumi Yozakura, is in the Yozakura family. And because it's easier to explain now than later, she is the 3rd daughter of the Yozakura family. She is the 10th head of the Yozakura family house, who have been around since the Edo ninja era. She is just, long story short, a regular person. She has no special powers. However, the Yozakura family has a unique gift, where in the Yozakura family, if you are not the head of the house, you are born with special powers. powers suited to the individual. You are a crazy strong fighter. You understand things. Whatever you excel at, you excel to the extreme. Mm-hmm. However, the head of the house has no powers, but because of that, they can then give their children powers. And then the next head of the house will be born who does not have powers, and it goes like that. So whoever the head of the house is just, for the most part, a regular person. They grew up in the spy world, but they are just... I'm a regular human. I can get stronger because I can exercise and things like that. But I can't... There's so many crazy things that happen in this. I can't pick one.
There's no power. There's no special ability that they really have.
No. They are just, in the end, a person. Mm-hmm. And that's who Mitsumi is. And because of that, she is the current head of the house. She is the current head of the Yozakura family. However, she is still in high school. And Taiyo Asano is a childhood friend of Mitsumi, who is just also a regular person.
At the start.
Well, yes. With lots of training, he becomes not quite a regular person.
Yes.
And some other things that happen that we're not going to talk about.
That's spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you have those two main characters.
Yes. And then you have the other siblings.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of siblings that get introduced at the beginning, which... can go either way. Like, you're introducing a lot of characters at once, but they don't go too into detail of them right now. They mention them, but they're not a focus. There's not like you're having all of these siblings take center stage immediately. They're kind of there, and they do more with them later. So you have the eldest son, Kyoichiro.
Kyoichiro.
He is Kyoichiro.
No, not Kyo, just Kyo. Kyoichiro.
Kyoichiro.
Good enough.
We'll fix that in post.
No, we won't. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that work. So
that sounds hard.
He's the eldest son. He is the vice principal of the school that Taiyo and Mitsumi go to. He is, think of it, the overprotective brother who fawns over the young sister's beauty and is obsessed. That is his character to the letter. And there is a reason for that, and they mention it, is that because... So everyone in the Yozakura family is super spy to the max. The whole family is... They are the top spy family.
Yes.
However, because of that, they get attacked constantly. And the reason he is so obsessed is because they got attacked. And Mitsumi was injured, and he blames himself. So thus, he is overprotective to the extreme.
Yep.
So if you look at the main cover, the girl with the blue hair is Mitsumi, and that white stripe that's in her hair is due to her being attacked. And he blames himself for that. And his special power, which he uses constantly, is, and to a lot of comedic effect and to ridiculous fighting ability, his weapon is wires. So he just extrudes wires somehow from his hands, and they can do all kinds of things. They can cut things, they can tie people up, they can do all kinds of stuff. So that is his ability, is he can control... He is crazy strong to begin with, because he's the eldest son, and he is wire maniac. He does wires everywhere. So then there's a lot of other characters that get introduced, but they're not really focused on yet. So there's the second oldest son, Shinzo. He is pretty much a weapons expert. Then there is the eldest daughter, Futaba. She is a... I want to make sure I say this right.
She's an Aikido and...
Yes, Aikido and Jujutsu expert. So she is the hand-to-hand combat specialist. Then there is the second eldest daughter, who is Shion. She is the hacker extraordinaire of the family. And then the third eldest daughter is Mitsumi. And then the third eldest son is Kengo. He is the disguise. He can turn into other people. He can disguise other people. He is... I can become anybody. That is his ability. Yes. And then the last son, the fourth eldest son, is Nanyo.
Nanao.
Yeah, so the fourth eldest son is Nanao. He is pretty much a drug and poison expert. So he does experiments. He helps heal people. He creates all kinds of things. He's the guy with a bucket on his head with a smiley face written on it.
Yep.
He's odd, and you learn more about him later. But he is the biggest person, but also the youngest. And that is not explained here, but it's interesting as you go along.
These are the characters, and you do meet them all. You do learn their names, and they're not ignored. But I think one thing that this series does very well at the beginning is, even though they're all here, what their abilities are is shown it's not explained. They just start doing stuff, and you realize, oh, this person does close combat. Oh, this person does disguise. Oh, this person has drones. Oh, this guy's in a trash can. Oh, wait, what are those things coming? Oh, okay, that's what he does. They don't stop and like, let's talk about Futaba and all the things that she's like. No, like Futaba is probably one of the most important characters in this beginning, who's not Kyoichiro, Mitsumi, and Taiyo.
Yes,
and almost nothing about her is talked about or explained here. It does eventually, and they do bring all of these things in and explain it, but their powers are just shown at the most obvious level, and it's much easier to understand. And visually, they're incredibly distinct.
Yes.
By the end of Chapter 2, you can tell them all apart, even if you can't remember their names, and you almost immediately can figure out what they can do and who they are. And it's one of the strong points of the series.
And it's funny reading the beginning again to get ready for this review, and it's like, okay, all of them, for the most part, stay the same way they are throughout the story. They get more mature and things like that. But Shinzo, at the very beginning, is so weird and becomes a very different person as the story goes along. It's like, oh, I forgot he lives in a trash can.
Yeah, the trash can thing goes away after a while at some point.
I don't remember why, but it's like, okay.
His character, and I think that's another thing about this, is like, even still, like, all of their characters do evolve and grow with the story. I think the only big visual difference is Shinzo not being in the trash can so much.
Yeah.
But they grow and change, and it's very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shinzo's trash can is so weird for a while.
It's like, why is he in a trash can? I read the later ones. Like, he's not in the trash can. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
So those are all of the main characters. Oh, and then there's their dog, Goliath.
Yes.
He becomes important later, but is not...
He exists.
He exists.
Yes. They mention him.
Yep. So those are all the main characters. They will be the main characters throughout the whole series. But Taiyo, Mitsumi, and Kyoichiro. I'll get it right probably when we're done.
Yeah, you'll get it right next episode.
Those three are pretty much the main characters for these first two arcs.
Yes.
The other ones are there, but those three are... If the only ones you remember are those three, great. So now, introduction arc. Taiyo, Mitsumi are in high school. I don't know if they say what grade, but...
I don't think it's specified.
Yeah,
at
but
least in the first
they're in high school. They know each other. They've been childhood friends. It turns out that recently Taiyo's parents and his little brother were all killed in a car accident, and that has left him scarred. And sum it up really quickly, because it's very sad in the book. He is now afraid of getting too close to people and losing them again. So he doesn't want to form friendships. Like, he is friends on a very light level with a lot of people, but he doesn't want to really become close to anybody because he's afraid that if he does, something bad's going to happen and they're going to die or something, and then he's going to lose his friends again, and he doesn't want to have to do that. So he is just a ball of nervousness at the beginning of the story. And Mitsumi, she was there for him when his family passed away, and she's trying to take care of him.
Yes.
So
she'll show up with lunch, and she'll come and talk to him and sit with him, and he'll still talk to her a little bit.
Right. Because they've always been friends. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to make sure that you're okay. So then, as we said before, Kyoichiro, I cannot say it.
Kyoichiro, the vice principal,
yes,
calls Taiyo to the vice principal's office, and they end up start talking, and then you slowly realize something is very wrong when Kyoichiro starts showing pictures of him and Mitsumi together as they were kids, and all these other times when no one should be around.
Yeah.
Or just like random moments, and it's like, why do you have all these? And then Kyoichiro basically says, I'm gonna kill you if you don't say that you never talk to Mitsumi again right now. Those are your two options. Decide.
Because he is really worried that Taiyo is going to hurt Mitsumi.
Yes.
Because they're under threat constantly. So he is worried that maybe he's a spy. Maybe he's trying to get closer to her to hurt her. So he's just eliminating anyone who tries to get close to her, because it shows a picture of this guy asked her out and he beat him up and said, I would never go near her ever again. So he is getting rid of anyone who's going to get close to her.
Yeah, he even states, I think, that there's like someone saying right now that there's someone close to her that is going to try and hurt her. And it's like, so guess what? You're now on the list and I'm going to get rid of you.
Yep.
And then he gets saved by
Futaba.
The rest of the siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Futaba comes in.
Futaba comes in, blows up the office, and they escape.
Yes.
Because they know that Mitsumi cares about Taiyo. So they come to rescue him. This is where you learn, oh, they're a family of spies. They're all around him. He's like, okay, you're okay. It's like, okay, there's just a pile of guns on the table. It's like
drugs.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
And money.
We're just doing our spy thing.
He's like, oh, these are just props. And he just picks up one of the guns and it fires and burns off part of his hair. He's like, wait, these are real.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out how to stop
Kyoichiro is coming
back. From coming and killing him.
Yes.
And because he's like, I'm coming, I'm on my way. And he's like, okay, we'll slow him down. You're safe here for a little bit. And Futaba says, okay, well, there is one way. And it's if you two get married, because that's the banner in the room. It's like, you cannot kill family.
Yes.
It's like,
I think the two banners are health comes first and no killing family members. And it's like, okay, sure.
But
yes.
Mitsumi is like, he's been through too much recently. I can't force that on him. So the idea is all members of the family have a ring that is actually in two parts. And to get married, you give your other half of the ring to the other person, and that constitutes you being married.
Yep.
So that's the idea. Mm-hmm. Mitsumi doesn't really want to force that on him. She thinks it's too soon for him to be doing this. He's like, and then Taiyo's...
And Kyoichiro agrees. This is maybe... Should he not have a say? And then everyone looks over, and he's just sitting in the sofa in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap, and then they all start fighting.
Yeah. And then it goes back, it's like, I didn't disarm anything. I just destroyed everything on my way in here.
Yeah, I noticed you changed all the traps, so I broke them all.
Yeah.
Oh, and I noticed you did this, and so I broke that too. And they have like a huge fight, and Kyoichiro's basically just kicking the crap out of all of them.
Yeah.
And it's not just their special powers. They're also trained spies. They can do all sorts of things. Yes, he has his wires, but like if you throw a gun at him, he'll catch it, turn it, and shoot at you with it.
Yeah, because Futaba flips him over and slams him on the ground. It's like, oh, you didn't do that quite right. Because he's critiquing everyone as this is going on, as they're finding, oh, you should do it this way next time, or, yeah, that's cool, you try it this way. And it's like, okay, he is just stronger than everyone by a mile. Yeah. And...
where it ultimately ends up is after all of the other siblings have been defeated along the way, Mitsumi basically... Kyoichiro gives Mitsumi an option of stay in the house, never go out again, and I won't kill him.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay. And Taiyo's basically, who had been hiding in a closet because reasons, comes out and is like, no, that's not okay.
And when he is saying this, it's a very, like, not sinister, but that kind of... like, it shows him just becoming almost overbearing. It's like, I am going to keep you here forever. And it shows it in the art. And it shows her understanding what that's going to mean. Yeah. It's like you see the change in her expression in his... He becomes almost... I'm trying to remember exactly what it looks like. Yeah, his face becomes just hash marks. And her face becomes like panicked once she realizes what's going to happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I didn't want to bring that up is that makes him look like he's evil.
True.
And he's not evil. He is that insanely panicked about something happening to her. And,
yes.
And we mentioned it before. There was the thing that he was a mistake. I think it's either the start of chapter 2 or the start of chapter 3. You just see him in the middle of like a bombed out city, like holding Mitsumi, like, this is all my fault. Everything that has just happened is my fault. I have ruined everything. My little sister her life was almost over because of this. I can never let this happen again. Mm-hmm. And that's more of who he actually is. And this is just him freaking out.
Yes. Because he blames himself forever for this happening.
But Taiyo comes out and basically is like, no, that's not okay. And so I will protect you so you and I can then get married. And not like I'll protect you so to then also, because I don't really want to die.
Yeah.
That would be bad. But like, I will protect you. I will devote my life to protecting you.
Yep.
If it's okay with you, I will marry you. And Mitsumi's basically like, yeah, okay. Throws the ring to him. Kyoichiro basically grabs Tayo's. Yeah, but I don't want to let you. And Tayo, who has been just a normal person at that point, just shreds his hand to bits.
Yes.
But grabs the ring anyway.
Puts it on. Yeah.
Well, shucks.
Yep. So he won't kill him now. He'll do plenty of other things, but he won't kill him.
There's some great scenes where it's like, I won't kill you.
Yeah.
I might accidentally drop you and let you fall to your death. But if I did that, it's an accident. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you saying this?
And then there's a really funny scene at the end of the first chapter where they're actually celebrating getting married. And you have the dog with the 2 fans.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's some great humor. There's some great like detailed humor and other things, and the chapters and the covers of like interesting little bits that they've put in, and it's very funny. But that's the beginning.
Yep, that's the first chapter. And it's a really good intro chapter because it shows you all of the characters, all of the main characters that you're going to care about through the rest of the series. And it shows you how much they all care for each other. Because you have all the other siblings besides Kyoichiro. Kyoichiro.
No, don't say the ki, just say Kyo.
Kyoichiro. But also shows you how they all interact with each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rest of the intro arc is all sort of those things. The first one is the bomber who's trying to kill Mutsumi again for reasons, and you learn about all the social... There's so much random social media jokes in this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because all the spies use spy social media.
Yeah. And Spy Weekly and... Yeah.
Spy magazines and spy Instagram and spy shopping malls. And so Tayo has to try and protect Mutsumi from this bomber because Kyoichiro is off on a mission. And he is able to, even though to stop the last one, which he finds out is attached to his own shirt.
Yeah.
He jumps out of a window because it's like, I'm the bomb. And then Kyoichiro shows up, disarms it from him, and saves him. And it's like, well, you're family, so I can't kill you. And this is the, if I drop you, it's an accident, okay? That's where that line comes from. But saves her from all the bombings.
Yeah.
And then there's the training episode, which is so good because the entire house is basically a spy training platform.
Yep.
It's like, all right, if you want to learn to protect Mutsumi, you can come and live here. And everything is trapped or poisoned or puzzled or full of spikes.
Yeah. It's funny. They show a picture of the bathroom, and there's just a humongous, complicated lock on it. And he's trying his best. I can't figure it out. It's like, I gotta use the bathroom.
It reminds me of... it's like Professor Layton puzzle. But it's like 15 different random Professor Layton puzzles shoved together.
Yeah.
Like all around the doorknob, and the doorknob itself is a puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that should take you like 5 seconds. Go on, go do it. And it's like, I can't do it. I have to go.
But this is a good chapter because it shows you what kind of person Tayo is. Because, okay, Futaba's like, I will train you, but you gotta survive in this house for a bit to make sure that you're up to snuff. And so he starts, okay, I gotta train, I gotta survive this house. And he's like, okay, I'm doing well. He's like, okay, 3 weeks have gone by. He's solved almost all of the problems. He can kind of get through the house. And then he collapses.
Yep.
And everyone's worried about him. And you're looking at him on this bed because Nanao is pretty much the family doctor as well. So he's trying to take care of him. And Futaba realizes he looks normal laying there. And then Futaba peels off his skin. And
he's
it's
been disguised as himself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And underneath himself is another version of himself. And he's covered in wounds and bandages.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, you've just been overdoing it completely. And it turns out he has been doing extra training after all the regular training with everyone in order to catch up. And Futaba scolds Nanao for doing this. It's like he kept asking, and I wanted to help. He was going to do it anyways.
I think he asked a bunch of the other siblings, and they all agreed to help him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, you can't do that. He's like a normal person. He can't physically take this.
Mm-hmm. So it was like, the reason he wanted to do it is because he wants to be there for Mitsumi, because he does love her as much as he does. He wants to push himself too far. And then the very end of the chapter is him unlocking the bathroom. I finally did it.
Yay! Yeah, there's a great thing, and it's that sense of who Taiyo is, where Futaba is like, most people would break down mentally long before they broke down physically this hard.
Yeah.
And it's just, he cares that much about Mitsumi that he will push himself to the point that he's like, he should have been hospitalized, and he was still going. And I think that's another thing that we kind of gloss over it, because you just accept it as it goes on. But despite the beginning of the first chapter, where both Taiyo and Mitsumi are kind of like, I don't want to force this onto the other person, they both very clearly and very deeply care about each other. Mm-hmm. And that's always showing up in this, of like each of them trying to do something for the other person or show that they care, or like going to extremes to protect the other person.
Yeah, because there's a quote. So as Futaba is watching over him and trying to understand him with all of his injuries, she goes, his love for Mitsumi is borderline insane because of how much he's willing to sacrifice of himself for her.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can't do that. You're going to kill yourself.
Yep.
And then does all this training, and great. Your reward is more training.
Congratulations, you're now accepted by the house. So we'll turn the traps up to hard mode.
Yeah.
Now we can start actually teaching you things.
Yeah.
And that's also the moment you start realizing that Taiyo he isn't truly normal, because he grows and learns and obviously pushes himself to do all this, but he accomplishes a lot for a normal person. That's like
extremely quickly.
Yeah. Like a normal person would not have made it even in a month. We weren't really expecting that, but that's what we told you. But yeah, okay, sure. I guess you're good enough to stay.
And he had to do it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is not the end of the intro arc. The last one is a new teacher shows up. Apparently, she is very strict and thinks that Mitsumi having a ring is a bad idea. So this is pretty much a chapter where you're going to see Taiyo use his skills that he's obtained from all this trading to steal the ring back. And it's more of, okay, he's done all this stuff before. It's now a month later. How much of a spy is he now? How much stronger is he? And compared to what he was before, he is much better.
He is almost a professional spy level person, of like, he sneaks out, he sets up a distraction, goes through, sneaks into her office, breaks into her safe, steals all the stuff she's confiscated back and brings it back to everyone. And while doing so, disguises himself as that teacher, saying, I've changed my mind, I've decided to give everything back. So that when she goes to find them, they're all like, oh, I'm so glad that you think it's okay that I have this. And it's like, I can't undo it, no.
Yeah.
It's a very fun little chapter.
Yep. So that's the end of the introduction arc. It's a good opening. It shows a lot of what the story is going to be.
Yes.
There's a lot of characters that are introduced, but most of them are not background, but you don't get flooded with everyone trying to do something at once, because that can happen with a lot of stories where, okay, we introduce all of these characters. They now all have to be the main character in order for them to get time to shine. They will, just not right now.
Yep, and several of the characters, more than half of, like, we've gone through all the main characters, but more than half of the main characters, they'll be there, but what they're doing is very obvious, and they just sort of show up for doing the thing that they would obviously do. Nanao shows up when Taiyo is injured because he's the family doctor. Mm-hmm. And then, like, he's basically not involved in most of the chapter.
Yeah.
But he's so obviously does that part of their family life. It's just like, oh, okay, I get, like, why he's here.
Because in this first arc, you really know nothing about Shion, Kengo, Shinzo. You see Futaba, Nanao, and that's about it. The other ones exist.
You barely see Nanao.
Yeah. But he's the doctor, so he shows up, but that's it.
Yep.
You learn nothing about why he's dressed like that and has a bucket on his head.
Yep. You don't really know what Shion does, but it's like, oh, whenever it's something about puzzles or locks, she pops in to say something and then just goes away.
Yeah. Yep. Which is fine, because that's kind of what keeps this simple. It allows you to focus on the characters right now who are the most important.
Yeah. It's absolutely the right way to do this,
yeah.
Like as you said, because it's focused on the 4 really important characters of Taiyo, Mutsumi, Kyoichiro, and to some degree Futaba. And lets you track what they're doing and understand what's happening without just pretending that these characters don't exist.
Right.
They're there. And again, the visuals, I think, really do help because every character is incredibly distinctive.
Yes.
You see Mutsumi show up, it's just like, oh, it's the normal Japanese girl with the white streak in her hair. And then Kyoichiro has this very particular face, and he's always dressed in his suit, and he's always got his gloves on with the wires around. And Futaba is always in this like gothic Lolita outfit with these huge twin tails. Like every character is totally different looking, and usually even to some degree, like what they do is part of their look.
Yes.
And it very much helps you just sort of wrap your brain around this, even though 10 characters get thrown at you in the first chapter.
Yep. So then we have the Flower Bin arc. This is chapters 5 through 9. This is, for the most part, Taiyo learning how to be a spy in the real world.
Yeah.
So Taiyo starts off this arc kidnapped by another spy. You kind of learn about this later, but there are like an official spy organization. And if you are an official spy, you are considered good. And there are ranks of spies, but it doesn't go into that till much later. So this is an official spy person. So not some just random guy who kidnaps Taiyo, and he is Hanawa. He is a president of a flower company. The reason he kidnapped Taiyo is because he wants Mutsumi.
Yes.
So they offer a trade. Mutsumi shows up, say, I will take his place, because he's just a regular person. He's not part of the spy world. So I will take his place. I will become the hostage now. So Taiyo leaves. Mutsumi takes over. And that was the plan that Mutsumi and Kyoichiro... Kyoichiro.
You got it right the first time.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I didn't correct you.
Kyoichiro, that was their plan. Because Mutsumi is the one they want, most likely they would have ended up hurting Taiyo to get her. But her going, they are not going to hurt her because she is the one they want.
Yeah.
So thus, we now have a rescue plan. We're rescuing. So the two of them go to the facility where they think she's being held. Kyoichiro is trying to teach him how to be a spy. And starts like, I'm going to run you like a puppet to drive all these moves into you. So you see him just controlling Taiyo like a puppet, beating everyone up and doing all these spy things, like sneaking around and climbing on walls and ceilings and things like that. But he's covered in wires and just moving around like a puppet. It's really funny. It's like, okay, this is how it's going to be. It's like, I am in charge. Dance, puppet. Because this is real life. People have guns and things like that. This isn't training. This is real. So he's trying to make sure that Taiyo understands how to survive. And they go in, they rescue her. It's like, okay, we found her. They open the box, and there's
a second part where he's like, okay, we're in the final area. We need to get this thing.
Oh, right.
I'm going to let you off. Do it. Go get it. And Taiyo goes to get it, and then he hears a girl screaming.
That's what it was. Yep.
They had already mentioned that, like, once something goes out of here, it's basically gone. It's off the grid. And she's, like, screaming for her family, for her older brother, and Taiyo decides to try to save her instead.
Yep.
And basically saves the girl from it, and Kyoichiro is annoyed because, like, okay, yeah, we lost, like, because of that, we lost the thing, but I get why you did it. It's okay. We'll go to one of our backup plans.
Yes, that's right.
Like, you're a good you're a good person for doing it and for, like, trying to help someone else's family, but you have to understand that now you've put things at risk. And then it turns out the girl is like, oh, I recognize that ring. there was another girl who got put on a truck who had that same ring. And it's like, oh, I guess they get the information anyway, just not in the way they expected. And that's what happens at the facility. And then you go to the huge battle on the bridge.
Yeah.
The first big fight. I mean, big in air quotes. It's like 3 chapters.
Yes. It is not long, but it is grand in scale of what's happening.
And the other thing, just a minor thing that will come up and is a very important part of the series. In that facility, you first see Taiyo with Yae, which is his gun.
Oh, right. Yep.
Which is not a gun, even though it's in the shape of a gun and in the shape of a revolver. It's actually an electric stun gun.
Yes.
That will kill you if it's turned up to max power.
Yep.
But it's like, it fires lightning.
Yes.
Because a normal gun isn't cool enough. He needs a lightning gun. Yes. So he now has that. And that will be his main weapon for, assume the rest. The entire series up to where I've read. And probably for the whole series.
So it is, but however, as the series goes on, it gets upgraded. Because...
it is a shonen series.
Yeah, so of course, it gets better.
Yes.
But that is his signature weapon for the majority of the series. It's a lightning gun. Yeah. And I forgot, as I was flipping you to make sure we didn't forget anything, there was a scene. So as he was driving Taiyo around as a puppet, he collapses. It's like, okay, I'm really exhausted now. It's like, don't worry, and ejects him. It's like,
he injects him with like
some crazy drug that the Now made. It's like, I am ready to go. And it's like, don't worry, I have tons of them. And he just has a whole pile full of these drugs.
Oh no, he says like just make sure not to use too much because it could cause your heart to explode. And then it switches back to Kyoichiro. He's holding like an entire armful of them. It's like, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah.
There's constantly goofy humor like mixed into this.
Yeah.
And visual gags and things. But now they go off to the bridge. They found the trucks. There's a series of 5 semi-trucks, one of which has Mutsumi on it.
The most obvious one of the 5, but yeah.
Yeah, and the other 4 are sort of like running as like guard cars, just as semis.
Yeah.
You get basically, the rest of the Yozakura family comes in. They do some stuff. They get traffic to leave by hacking all the lights, and so now it's just the 5 of the cars, and then they all go and attack. And this is another good moment where you see the other family members and get more of a sense of who they are.
Yes.
As like each one of the other trucks is taken out by one of the other siblings. I think it's the first time you really see Shinzo actually do something. His trash can gets like dropped into one, and they're like, oh, we're gonna get you, and then like it sprouts like 15 different weapon arms and beats the crap out of her.
Yes. Yep.
Kingo's is great. He just drops into the car full of other people, and he disguises all of them as himself.
Yes. And they all just start
so
fighting each other.
Freak out and just beat each other up.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Futaba.
No, so Futaba finds the one that they're in, and then now just flips the other truck over.
Yeah. Now just grabs one and just knocks it over. Just like picks it up by the rear wheels and just tilts it on its side. It's like, violence is bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then Futaba shows up to stop the one that has Mutsumi in it. And that's when the other spy, the Hanawa, fights back.
Yep.
And he is, as the president of a flower company, he fights with scissors.
Yep.
So you see him fight Futaba, and then that's when Kyoichiro and Taiyo show up as well to stop them, and Kyoichiro cuts the bridge apart.
Yeah. He's like, oh, if we stop the truck is set up to explode. So instead of stopping the truck, we're just going to capture it. So he slices a chunk out of the road and then wires the truck up in midair around it so that its tires are still spinning, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. It's like...
Because that's what you do.
And it just happens instantly. He just does this. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Yep.
So then the rest of it is Taiyo confronting Hanawa to try to get Mutsumi back. And so they fight. He is definitely a better spy than Taiyo is. Yes. But just through cooperation of Mutsumi trusting Taiyo, they are able to outmaneuver him and knock Hanawa away. He falls into the water. And so Mutsumi is safe. And Kyoichiro just throws the truck at him.
Yep, and it explodes because it was rigged to self-destruct if it stopped.
So it's like, and goodbye. It just throws the truck.
And you forget that at the end, because the bridge was cut in half, Kyoichiro wires some things up, and they're basically standing on Taiyo, like, made into a platform, hanging on the wires as he's up there holding Mitsumi, and he's just, like, standing on his head.
Yeah.
Yep, all's well that ends well. Why are you standing on Taiyo? All's well that ends well.
And then the last chapter of the arc is... This one is important because it explains some things that, if you think about what happened, it's like, okay, how come this isn't in the news constantly? And it's because of this chapter. So, it starts off, you meet a police detective who is named Hoto Keniyama. He is a police detective who goes around hunting bad guys with a hammer. So not the nice police officer. So he finds information, sees that Taiyo was involved in this bridge incident, goes to his school, conducts an interrogation on Taiyo, and he's trying to break him in order to have him explain what happened. Taiyo is trying not to and trying to think about what is going on. And the detective, in one of the funny scenes, is like, here, have some water. It's their truth serum, and it's like, no. Drink it.
No, he's like, here's some water, and he takes out a pouch, pours powder, and stirs it in, and then hands it to him. Like, yep, there's your water. It's like, you just put something in it. No,
it's like, he's a terrible liar.
I didn't.
So then he threatens him. He throws him against the wall. He's about to hammer Taiyo, and Taiyo slips away, and he smashes the wall behind him. And there is Kyoichiro sitting there with a glass to his head, listening through the wires in the wall. And Taiyo realizes this was all a setup. Because supposedly the police detective was fed information. Someone had all these pictures about the incident. And turns out Kyoichiro was the one who gave him all of this information just to test him. To see if he
wouldn't rat on the family.
Betray the family,
The detective even like points out some things where it's like, Taiyo's like, something else is weird. I mean, the pouring the powder in the drink is obviously weird. He's like, there's something weird about what he's talking about. And the officer's like, oh yeah, I said, I didn't know who you were connected to, and I wanted that. But then I mentioned Mitsumi, and like, that wouldn't make sense if I didn't know who you were connected to.
So there's something going on.
That he did on purpose. But it was all a test to see like if he would break, what he would do.
Yeah, because it turns out that Kyoichiro and this police detective, Hoto Keniyama, were middle school friends. So they know each other, they rag on each other.
Expect that to come up a lot too. Yeah. Everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He passed the test, and then at the very end, it's like, oh, so who wins the bet? And it's like, wait, what bet? And it turns...
I guess we both lost, so I guess we just paid each other anyway.
So the detective bet 10,000 yen that he would crack, and Kyoichiro bet 10,000 yen he would die.
He's like, you just wanted me to die. Like, I can't hear you.
And that's pretty much the end of the arc. And then it starts the next one where...
I read the first 2 pages of it, and all I remember of it is Taiyo going up to Mitsumi as she's cooking and being like, Mitsumi, how do I put on a bra? Because he's like clearly putting on a bra in the scene, and Mitsumi just like freaks out and then turns to him and it's like, don't worry, I'll support whatever weird habits you have. It's like, no, it's for disguise training. Stop it.
Yeah, so the next few chapters you start learning about the other siblings. That's when they start getting their moments to shine. And it starts off where people start threatening Mitsumi more openly, especially at the school. So that's the end of the first 2 arcs. What do you think?
What do I think? So, as I mentioned earlier, as I was reading when I talked about book 17, I think the series is great now. Going back to it, I think it's as good as I remember.
Okay.
It's definitely a series that gets better because it does have the spy movie feel of double agents and backstabbing, and the point of the mission wasn't actually the point of the mission, it was actually for this other thing, and it hasn't gotten there yet. It's too early in the series for that to really happen, but a lot of things are going to be about more than what they seem, and while it's fun and it's entertaining and the first couple of battles have been good, they do get a lot better. But at the same time, it very much is a series where from the very beginning it knows what it's trying to be, and it is that. I don't think it becomes what it's trying to be, I think it always is. Like, I think of a series like Death Note or Dan to Dan, where like that first book you'll read it and it's like, I know what this is going to be about, and then it's about that.
Yep.
Whereas other great series like Yu Yu Hakusho, to some degree Bleach, and Jujutsu Kaisen, I think, although I guess I also think Jujutsu Kaisen in the beginning isn't that good, but it's they start on something and like what they're about doesn't really change. Although I guess Yu Yu Hakusho kind of does a lot.
Yeah, it changes a lot throughout the series.
But Bleach is like, oh yeah, it's about hollows and fighting things and stuff. It's like, yeah, but by book 5, it goes in this crazy direction where it's all about the Soul Society and this huge battle between the other Hollow Hunters. Yozakura Family it's about this kid who's trying to protect his now wife and their siblings and dealing with all the crazy spy stuff going on that has to do with them and their family. Yep. And that's just what the series is from the beginning. And it's just getting more as it goes.
I agree. I think this series as a whole is really good with covering we are a spy family, we do spy things. The beginning is good, and the story just gets better and better as you go along. The art gets even better, the characters get even crazier, the whole universe is fleshed out even more as it goes along. You got tons of other spies are introduced. There's a whole society about spies, as we said. There's spy Twitter, spy online shopping, spy polls,
everything.
And spy everything. If you can think of it, there's a spy thing. It just gets over the top. It's funny. There's some really serious stuff. There's crazy powers. But at the end of the day, they're still all spies. They don't become something besides spies.
Yeah.
The definition of what counts as a spy can vary, but they are still spies. Yeah. And that doesn't change.
They're still Shonen Jump spies. Yes. Let's be slightly more specific. They talk about doing covert things, and then they blow up a couple trains.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in the moment, and there's a point to it, but it's very much the shonen extreme goofball version of being a spy.
Yeah.
But it does that so well.
Yes. So if you liked these first 2 arcs, if you just like the first arc, you will definitely like the later ones, because this is a very good first 4 chapters that gives you a very good idea of where this story is going to go. Like where the story goes kind of changes because we do spy missions and things like that. But the overall feel of we are a spy family, as the name suggests, that doesn't change. It's all about the family. It's all about how they live their lives as spies and how each of them handles being a spy.
Yeah. And even though Taiyo and Mutsumi are obviously like the leads of the series, and Kyoichiro as well, all of the siblings do become these full characters, and they all grow, they all evolve, all of them, their powers increase, interesting things happen, but it never feels forced. It's always like, oh, we're just going to take a break and we're going to go cover them for a while, and we're going to do this with them. And then it's like, oh, well, we've covered that person for a bit. Let's swap over to this one. It's a very, very well-made series.
Yes.
And it knows what it wants to be, and it just is that. It's great. It's really a great series.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything more to say. If you haven't read it, check it out. The first volume is really good. It gives you a very good idea of how this story is going to work. There are currently 17 volumes out in English. The 18th one is coming out in August. There are 29 total, and it just gets better as it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
With that, thank you everyone for listening once again to the Mudai Manga and Book Club podcast. If you'd like to find us or listen to us in places other than wherever you're finding and or listening to us right now, the options you have are Blue Sky at Mudai Manga Book Club, on YouTube at Mudai Manga Book Club, or on Podbean or other podcasting apps of your choice with Mudai Manga and Book Club. Please share the episode, like the episode, thumbs up the episode, ring the bell for the episode, subscribe to the episode, 5-star review the episode, hit the wiggly bob for the episode. I'm sure something does that. Leave a comment for the episode, or if you'd like to send feedback one other way, you could also email us at mudaimangabookclub@gmail.com. We would love to hear your questions, comments, rants, and or favorite sibling from the Yozakura family, and or why spy movies are better than dinosaur movies. I don't know where I came up with that. I just made that up on the spot. Look at me, Mom. I'm creative. But any of those, we would love to hear from you all, and we really appreciate you taking the time to listen and enjoy the show. We enjoy making it, and we want to hear it from you. But with that, we have reached the point where the show stops. No, we haven't reached that point.
What?
We've reached the point where the show starts. No, we did that already.
Yep, past that.
Oh, we've reached the point where I talk about what I've been reading.
Nope, past that.
We've reached the point where I talk about Nagatoro.
Past that again.
Did I talk about Nagatoro this episode?
You did just now.
Oh, okay. Good. So we have
Perfect.
passed that. All right.
Yep.
Then we're at the recommendation part. So,
Yes.
So, Louie, what would you like to recommend after I talk about my recommendation? Because I'm going first today.
I'll wait.
For no particular reason, I decided to pick up this game from one of my favorite game makers that I already owned and start playing it again. He's a very little known person who's only shown up as
a few times,
a guest character in like 15 other games as himself. But it's Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. I believe there's thinking about doing a second one.
At some point. I don't know.
Literally today.
Yeah.
As we're recording this. Death Stranding, it is available on PC, Xbox, PC, and a few other places. Not the Switch or Switch 2.
The first Death
PC,
Stranding.
Xbox. Yes, the first Death Stranding is on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Death Stranding 2 just came out. It's a PS5 exclusive for right now. But it is the story of a crazy world where ghosts exist kind of in a way, and also if the ghosts catch you, it causes a giant explosion that will destroy cities, and you play a delivery boy.
Yes.
Also, if you get caught in the rain, you get really old and die.
Yes.
Or things rot.
You play Norman Reedus.
But yeah, play Norman Reedus.
Mailman.
Yes, your name is Sam Porter Bridges. You're a porter. You deliver stuff for Bridges.
You're building bridges between people.
Group. Yes, there are so many like crazy things about connections and stuff that weirdly. And the other thing that makes this amazing, this came out like 7 months before thing that happened in 2020 that a lot of other video and audio hosting sites don't like you mentioning because of all of the stuff that happened with it. But it rhymes with Snowvid.
Ah. I'm like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about?
Yes.
And it is as a game where your main gameplay loop is figuring out how to walk past a bunch of rocks to deliver a box of magazines to someone who lives out in the middle of nowhere. It's an incredibly compelling game. The world is absolutely insane. Hideo Kojima has always made crazy, weird worlds and ideas and still made a coherent game out of them. This is probably one of his most ridiculous. And it's incredibly good. If you have not tried it, you should try it. You should give it a chance. Even though you're a delivery boy, it is an incredibly fun game. And having just restarted again, the first hour and a half of this game is just balls to the walls crazy at every turn. And it's so good. So you should go check it out. Death Stranding. It's very fun.
Yes, it is very.
How about you? What would you like to recommend?
Okay. I am going to recommend a YouTube channel / YouTube series. The channel itself is called Glitch. Glitch. It's very late. Glitch. That is the name of the channel. That's the name of the studio. The series that I'm going to recommend, they have a few series, but the one I'm going to recommend right now is called Murder Drones.
Okay.
It is 8 episodes long. It is about a civilization that lives on a not Earth planet. The civilization is, everyone's a robot, and they do robot things, but they very human-like society. Because they were built by humans, all the humans are dead, and now it's just the robots who live there. And then I don't want to spoil anything because it's really cool, and the story is very weird. So there's this civilization of humanoid-looking robots. They are trying to survive. They don't want people to go outside because you can get killed. And in the very first episode, drones show up who are there to kill everybody. Thus, the murder drones. They look like angels. They arrive on a spaceship and they try to kill everybody. And there's all kinds of things about AI. There's old one style apocalyptic beasts. There's things that go on. There's like, okay, I didn't know that was connected. There's a crazy story that happens. There's really hilarious moments. There's magic. There's all these things. There's a really fun interaction between the main character, who's this girl robot, and one of the murder drones that show up, and they become friends, and she's trying to convince him not to kill everyone, and the other 2 murder drones are trying to kill everyone, and then it turns out that they were sent there for different reasons, and then other murder drones show up, and it's really cool. So it's 8 episodes. They're anywhere between 20 to like 25 minutes long. Some of them are a little shorter, but they're hilarious. It's a really cool story. So check it out. It's made by Glitch. Murder Drones is their first big series. They've also done a few other ones. The other one you might know of is the Amazing Digital Circus. That's really popular right now.
Yep. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So, They also did another one called Sunset Paradise. But Murder Drones is done. That is a complete series. They did the Gaslight District. But the one I'm recommending today, I will talk about some of the other ones another time, is Murder Drones. Because it's really fun. It's really crazy, and the animation's 3D, computer generated, but it's awesome. So check it out. Murder Drones by Glitch.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. And they have some really funny merch trailers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that will be the end of the episode for this week. Tune in next week. I don't know why I did that, but I did.
You're building suspense.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what you're doing.
This isn't that exciting, though, because all it is that next week's episode will be about I picked up this world's strategy guide, volume 1 of the manga. So that's what we'll be talking about.
Sounds like a plan.
Until then, have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Yeah. Is that it? Got anything else?
I want to say yeah again, but I can't because I don't.
Yeah. Kyo. Ichiro. I can't do it.
I just like how it's like almost like you're saying Matthew.
Kyo Ichiro.
Kyo Ichiro.
Kyo Ichiro.
My favorite anime is Evangelion. And the lead character, Shinji.
Yeah.
Asuka. They make a cute couple.
Yeah. On to the review.
To the review mobile.